Edmonton ground, Delta 122 IFR to Minneapolis, ready to copy.
Delta 122 was cleared to Minneapolis Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 12, climb and maintain 13,000 feet. Departure frequency is 134.7 squawk 7746.
Delta 122 cleared to Minneapolis Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 12, climb and maintain 13,000 feet. Departure on 134.7 squawk 7746.
Delta 122 read back correct. Contact ground on 121.7. Good day.
Edmonton ground, Delta 122 requesting pushback.
Edmonton ground, Delta 122 no pushback tug is available to answer your request.
Edmonton ground, Delta 122 requesting the end of pushback.
Delta 122 request to end pushback received.
ground, Delta 122 with Echo ready to taxi IFR.
Delta 122 taxi to and hold short of runway 12 via taxiway Alpha. Contact tower on 118.3 when ready.
Taxi to and hold short runway 12 using taxiway Alpha Delta 122. Edmonton Tower Delta 122 ready for departure runway 12 IFR to Minneapolis.
Delta 122 altimeter tree, 0.02 wind 19er, 4 at 8. Cleared for takeoff runway 12.
Cleared for takeoff runway 12 Delta 122.
D1.
Delta 122 contact Edmonton Center on 134.7. Good day.
134.7 for Delta 122. Edmonton Center Delta 122 is at 3,300 feet, climbing 13,000 feet.
Delta 122 Edmonton Center altimeter tree 0.02 continue to en route as planned. Delta 122 climb and maintain flight level 180.
Climb and maintain flight level 180 Delta 122.
different films and TV shows from around the world means that any passenger from any of the places Etihad flies
This seaside Verbo is about to play host to an unforgettable vacation memory. That game of cards that Grandpa somehow managed to lose, even though he invented the game. But this moment, it didn't begin with cards. It began with a tap. When Mom booked her family's summer
to shouldn't have a problem finding something enjoyable to watch. There were also live TV channels to stream and an option to randomly DM strangers in different seats or even call them. I didn't try this function.
And leave, and you get home the best way you can. She said, if that's what it takes to get you there, okay. So I'm going. So I cleaned up.
But it did make me wonder if there's a microphone somewhere in the seat. The route map is provided by Panasonic's Flight Map 3D system, skinned in the airline's classic burgundy and dark orange palette. It has all the functions you would expect, including a pointer to the Kaaba, but sadly there were no outboard cameras to speak of. Finally, let's have a look at the provided noise-cancelling headphones. They weren't the nicest looking headsets, and were pretty average in terms of comfort, noise cancellation, and audio quality, so pretty much everything. But at the very least, they fit on my giant head, which is more than what I can say for some other products. Still feeling quite tired, and not helped by the fact that I had consumed copious amounts of wine, I decided to take another nap, and with that, converted my seat into a bed. The seat fabric was not the most comfortable thing to sleep on without a mattress pad, but apart from that, the rest of the bedding was very nice. Legroom was not an issue, and being situated further from the aisle, it did feel quite private. Personally, I like to sleep on my side, and this wasn't a problem at all. The seat cushioning was
Now, you can ask my wife, you can ask Brother Copeland. There was a time, I'm not quite as sharp at it today as I was way back then, but I could tell you every song, who recorded it.
Was thick, and there was a surprisingly generous amount of room for your upper body. The blanket was also luxuriously heavy, and coupled with the strong air conditioning, despite the lack of individual air vents, I had no problems falling asleep. After a 3-hour nap, I was gently woken up with a mug of tea for the second meal service, and for this, I went for their unofficial signature steak sandwich. If you find yourself in business class on Etihad, do yourself a favor and order this. It has never disappointed. Along with the sub, I was also served a ready-to-explode bag of chips, or crisps as they say in the UK, as well as a chocolate marquis, or marquis as they say in the UK. Not sure where that pronunciation came from. This was by no means the light option, but that's not me lamenting. I wasn't planning on having dinner after landing, so I was pretty happy to have been properly fed. The food quality on this flight was quite phenomenal. I dare say it was probably some of the best airplane food I've had in 2020. After dinner, I was given a fast track card, which came in really handy for writing down someone's number. Fast track, on the other hand, was not open at Heathrow at the time. Alright, so Etihad. I've flown with this airline a handful of times in the past. I've had some great experiences with them, as well as some not so great ones. I guess it depends on the crew. The staff on this flight were very professional. It's apparent that the airline trains their crew well, but then again they knew I was coming, so I can't speak too much about the service. Overall though, I found the flight attendants to be not as engaging in terms of making conversation as perhaps Emirates or Qatar's, but whether that's a good or bad thing is entirely up to you. While we're on the subject of comparing Etihad to the other major Gulf carriers, I do feel that the Abu Dhabi airline has fallen a bit behind the other players. I can't speak for the other cabins, but having flown this business class product a few years ago, I did notice the cost cutting this time around. The removal of the mattress pads, pajamas, and simplification of the menu in a bid to reduce overheads were all measures introduced even before the pandemic hit. But with all of that said, the business studios were still fantastic seats, immensely comfortable, spacious, and private. However, the empty white walls did leave me slightly disappointed, especially considering that this part of the world is famous for its tessellated patterns and highly decorative art. I feel like they could have added a little bit more creativity. At the end of the day, which this is by the way, with the sun having just you know what, never mind. What I mean to say is, there was very little else to criticize Etihad for. They were serving proper meals on proper china with proper silverware during a time when few other airlines did any proper service at all. The bed was very comfortable to sleep on, and I arrived in London more energized, less tired, and fuller than when I had left. It was altogether an immensely relaxing end to a crazy time in the UAE, and a perfect transition back to the reality of life, work, and freezing temperatures.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to London. The local time here is 10 minutes past 5 o'clock. For your safety.
That's it for this time. Thank you for watching. I hope I was able to give you a proper look at the Etihad experience, and a big thank you to the crew for putting up with my filming. But until the next time, take care and safe travels.
The fuck? Good morning from Zurich. Today we're flying Swiss in first class.
After a short stay in Switzerland, it's time to go home, and I was lucky enough to be able to do it on a Swiss A340 as the only passenger in first class. Here's that story. My flight left in the early afternoon and took us north out of Switzerland, flying over France and then the UK to cross the Northern Atlantic. Passing south of Greenland, we'll approach Canada over Newfoundland, then descend along the St. Lawrence River into Montreal. This daytime flight of some 3,720 miles will take a little over 8 hours. My day started back in Zurich, which, despite being Switzerland's most populous city, still retains a small town charm. On the water and sandwiched between picturesque rolling hills, it's almost impossible to take a bad photo here.
Some people say that Switzerland is like the Texas of Germany, and I don't really agree with that. I think it's more like Wisconsin, and that no one should ever compare Wisconsin to Germany.
I mean, I get it. Some parts of this country might look German, and a lot of people, especially here in Zurich, speak German, but saying that miles, it's almost impossible. To take a bad photo here.
Some people say that Switzerland is like the Texas of Germany, and I don't really agree with that. I think it's more like Wisconsin, and that no one should ever compare Wisconsin to Germany.
I mean, I get it. Some parts of this country might look German, and a lot of people, especially here in Zurich, speak German, but saying that it's pretty much Germany would discount hundreds of years of Helvetian history.
I can, however, see what they're going on about. There are a lot of banks here, and old buildings, and rivers, and trams, and sex stores. Yeah. Maybe they have a point.
To me, this is a country of farmers turned alpine herdsmen turned medieval Spartans turned mercenaries who became pacifists. Said I didn't spend much time on the concourse as I was told that there was in fact a lounge that was open, specifically the Swiss A-Gates Business and Senator Lounge. At the time, admission was granted to anyone who had Star Alliance lounge access, and fortuitously it had automated gates fitted allowing for contactless entry. It may not be the first class lounge, but this place was nonetheless beautifully lit and adorned with the airline's wood motif. It felt warm and inviting. There was ample seating distributed throughout the space and even a breakfast buffet. While physical distancing measures were put in place, they weren't overall very intrusive and the lounge felt pretty normal. And when more people showed up later in the morning, the staff opened another portion of the lounge which doubled the capacity with even more seating and tables. In terms of refreshments, well, they were provided by a proud array of Swiss-made espresso machines which could deliver everything from a macchiato to iced strawberry milk. There were also iced teas available, different types of water, fruits, a spread of yogurts, and most importantly, a generous amount of alcohol. The impressive selection of beers and different varieties of wine were available even at 11 AM, as it should be. At the breakfast station, a man dressed like a chef was making omelets to order, although he might have just been a chef. Amazingly, you could have anything in it you want, from chicken drumsticks to shrimp. There were other breakfast staples to accompany, including fresh bakery items. If you're not too hungry, they also offered sweet and savory snacks, and this being a Swiss lounge after all, candy. Although I'm not sure if Ricola can be considered candy. The chocolates definitely can, and they were of course very popular. Covering a few more amenities, this lounge had these little offices in case you need to conduct any last-minute banking or whatever business you do, and to aid this further, there was a printer, free to use of course, and a fridge full of Movenpick ice cream, also free, I'm not sure how this plays into productivity, but it's definitely much more exciting. This being Europe after all, there's a smoking terrace, and understandably but still sadly, while there were showers, they weren't open when I visited. Neither were the quiet seating areas of the lounge. When I came into the lounge, I was told that there was a class divide, namely this roped-off section reserved for first-class passengers and Han members. It wasn't a very large space, but then again, there was hardly anyone here. The seating was arguably a little bit nicer, but otherwise not too different from the rest of the spaces. There was a small self-serve bar with wines typically reserved for first-class lounges, and I found this particular rosé particularly good. The area was raised a few steps above the rest of the space for no other apparent purpose than that of being able to look down on the lower rungs of society. But otherwise there wasn't anything too special about it. I guess they just wanted the guests here to feel a little bit more exclusive. Anyways, I tucked into my breakfast and had just a little bit of champagne.
Every time I'm in Europe, I always end up drinking way too much. I really need to start cutting down on the alcohol consumption. Like, it can't be good for me. Okay, thank you very much. Dankeschön. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good day. D-gates, D-gates, D-gates. Where are the D-gates?
One drawback of that lounge was that it was located in the Schengen zone, so I had to give myself a little bit of extra time to clear passport control.
God, I'm stupid. I don't know where. D39. Where the hell is D39? It's that way. I've had too much to drink, haven't I? Yes. Well, this is a pretty good cure for a hangover, which is just to keep drinking so you don't get a hangover. At some point, the cumulative hangover will kill me, but we're going to put that off as long as we can. I do have to say, if you've never come to Switzerland before, and especially through Zurich, the passport staff, the border control staff, border police, immigration officers. The immigration officers are an absolute gem here. They're so polite, so helpful, just so nice. They want you to have a good time in their country, and just complete opposite of like immigration officers anywhere else in the world. There's a man with an MP5 and a mask behind me, and that's intimidating. All right, where's our plane?
Our plane, as it turns out, was parked outside, looking pretty good from this ground floor perspective. What it is an A330 with 4 engines, also known as an A340. Fight me in the comments. I got to the gate pretty late, but I still had enough time to get my boarding pass stamped and stickered before boarding began. This was done by the travel documents people to make sure that you're allowed into the country.
So just a quick temperature check before boarding the flight. Otherwise, business as usual, or first class in this case.
While our gate did have 2 jetways, only one was connected. I didn't mind this at all. It made for a better view of the plane thanks to these awesome glass jet bridges. It also would have been a complete waste of everyone's time and energy to open another door for just one passenger, especially when that one passenger is me.
Hi there, good afternoon, that's me.
Okay, welcome.
Okay. Is it okay if I take photos on board your flight? Is that all right?
That's fine.
Okay.
If you picture persons.
Oh, no,
you
I
should
won't.
go this way.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Once on board, I passed through the forward business cabin, which I've made a video about if you want to check it out, but on this flight I moved on into the first class cabin and quickly found my seat, 1A. Although the purser did tell me that as the only passenger in the cabin, I could move around to wherever I wanted, which is something I wish I heard every time I got on a plane. Being the sole recipient of attention from the crew, they wasted no time in introducing themselves to me. I had the pleasure of being looked after by a wonderful Ursula and Christian throughout the flight, both of whom were phenomenally persuasive in getting me to stuff myself with more food and wine, starting with an insistence of having a glass of champagne as soon as I got to my seat. This was accompanied by some exquisitely seasoned cashews, but before I get ahead of myself, let's first have a look at the cabin. Every first class seat comes in its own enclosed suite. There are 8 of them in total, configured in a 1-to-1 layout. These cabins have also recently been refurbished, making them quite a new product. The middle seats might be of preference to those traveling together, but at the same time it can also be closed off to one another for more privacy with a massive raisable divider. Undoubtedly, the highlight of each suite is the TV, which at 32 inches is just plain crazy. I especially loved how subtle all the branding touches in the cabin were. They contributed to a sophisticated atmosphere without being gauche or tacky. On a practical level too, it was very convenient that the cabin was finished in a bright white theme, letting in lots of light, which made filming very easy. Let's do a comprehensive seat tour now, starting not with the IFE, we'll revisit that later, but rather this partition where you'll find the provided hangers. Across from you is another seat, where in this case I stashed all the goodies I received, but this is also where you can have someone join you for a meal. There's even a seatbelt. But I don't have any friends, so I just ate alone. And speaking of eating alone, underneath this flap is the tray table. Now I'm not going to attempt to pull it out, it's quite impossible with one hand. Back here, there's a small tray area meant to hold a drink or two, and further back you'll find a row of basic seat and lighting controls. There's a sizable storage cubby down here and a conveniently placed charging outlet, along with a USB Type-A charge port. Underneath this flap, you'll find more storage as well as the IFE remote. There are also more charging points, headphone ports, and cleverly hidden away comprehensive seat controls that take seat adjustments to a whole new level. The lamp back here is dimmable to 5 different settings, and the seat itself, which is comfortably wide and superbly well supported, is finished in a soft fabric material, once again preferable over leather. The armrests don't go down, but really the seat is wide enough. There's an adjustable reading light up here, and controls for the motorized dividers. These, along with the door, were locked before takeoff, so I'll show them to you later. Overall, it's a very solid first-class product, roomy, comfortable, and offering a lot of privacy. You might have noticed that there are no overhead bins in the middle. Instead, the ceiling features a very futuristic console of lights, making the entire cabin feel very airy. But sadly, while we're on the subject of air, the PSU did not have individual air vents, and the flight did run pretty hot. Thankfully, they did have safety cards, which doubles perfectly as fans. Alright, gratuitous seat tour over, it's time to drink my champagne. Cheers, here's to a great flight. Why does that sound familiar? I swear someone said that before. Don't recall who it is. As we push back, I couldn't help but notice the rare sight outside, and no, I'm not talking about the British Airways Dreamliner, but rather the jet bridge that doesn't say HSBC on it. Instead, it says UBS. This is probably the most Swiss thing I've seen all day.
My actions will be
This oceanside Verbo is about to become the backdrop for an unforgettable vacation memory. One of
When the seatbelt signs came off, the itineraries for today's festivities arrived. The menus. I'm talking about the menus. On flights departing out of Switzerland, the menu features dishes and cuisine inspired by a roster of different regions in the country. On today's flight, it was Zug, which was curious because half the menu was made up of seafood. You know, what with Switzerland being a landlocked country and all. There was a separate page reserved for cheese, and aptly so because there were a lot of them. Moving on to the drinks list, it was a modest selection with one champagne and a couple each of reds and whites, along with some dessert wine. Topping it off, they also offered teas, Nespresso, spirits, and port. Lunch started with an amuse-bouche. Now, I don't remember the specifics, but it featured a mousse of some kind and a dry-aged cheese. And although I don't remember exactly what was in it, I do remember this dish being pretty good. It was light and refreshing, and it also matched perfectly with the champagne, although that's true for a lot of things. For obvious reasons, hot towels were not provided, but they did give me a near endless supply of these wet wipes. Throughout the meal, the cabin crew kept checking in to see if I had everything I need, and the service was impeccable.
Expedite your climb flight level 180. Delta 122, please expedite your climb flight level 180. expedite your climb flight level 180. Delta 122, please expedite your climb flight level 180. Delta 122, please expedite your climb flight level 180.
Five hundred, 400, 300, 200, 100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Delta 122, please expedite your climb flight level 180.
One thousand.
Delta 122, please expedite your climb flight level 180.
500, 400. 300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30.
Delta 122, please expedite your
10.
climb flight level 180.
For the appetizers, I went with the smoked trout
At Chewy, we know the only thing that changes when bringing home a new pet is with everything to help you on that journey. We've got
Thousands of Russians make this journey every single day and head across to Leningradsky Station to take the Krasnaya Strela, the Red Arrow, up to St. Petersburg. I'm pretty impressed with this. Well, hello, and Zdravstvuyte from Moscow and from Red Square with the Kremlin right behind me, home of course to Russian leaders and oligarchs throughout the centuries. Now when it comes to travelling around Russia for these people, of course the railway is king, and it has always been that way. And when the leaders were heading up to St. Petersburg, or Leningrad as it was in the day, they would take the Krasnaya Strela, the Red Arrow, which is a overnight train from here in Moscow up to St. Petersburg, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be following in the footsteps of the great leaders and the Tsars and the dignitaries and taking a ride up to St. Petersburg on the Krasnaya Strela, the Red Arrow. Now before we go and jump on the train up to St. Petersburg, I need to show you the hotel I've been staying in here. This is the Sovietsky Hotel, built in the 1950s by the son of Joseph Stalin, and it was used to house all of the visiting diplomats and foreign leaders from around the world when they came to visit the Soviet Union. Two reasons really, not only because it was a really lavish and probably the most lavish hotel in Moscow, but also all the rooms were booked so that anything that was said by various leaders could be picked up by the Soviet regime. Inside it really is something to behold, so let me just quickly take you inside and show you this hotel before we head to the station and get on the train up to St. Petersburg. Isn't this place just absolutely phenomenal? The halls, the marble everywhere, just an absolutely beautiful hotel just outside the centre of Moscow. Look at this. Now back in Soviet times, of course, this hotel would have been booked by the communist leaders here in the Soviet Union, and there's like lots of stories of little secret cupboards and little secret doors and stuff everywhere in this hotel, where they used to have monitoring rooms to monitor all of the rooms from the visiting dignitaries. I'm not going to talk too much about the history of the hotel because there's already a fantastic video on YouTube by Bold and Bankrupt who's done a really nice, far better job of talking about this place than I could ever do. So I'll pop a link to that video up there. But before we go off to the station, I need to show you my room here. Now, of course, like any great leader, we're not just staying in any room at the Sovietsky Hotel, we're staying in this one. This is Stalin's apartment. Yes, that's right, this guy up here, Mr. Stalin himself, well, he used to stay in this apartment here, as well as all the great leaders when they used to come to Moscow visiting dignitaries. And just look at this room here, I mean, crazy. This is just the living room bit, look. Chandeliers on the ceiling. This is the first hotel I've ever stayed in where my room has got its own private conference room with this dude on the wall, of course. Just look at this, it's incredible. I mean, to think that leaders like Stalin and Thatcher have sat at this very table, this very desk, signing decrees and things. I feel like Michael Scott out of The Office. Let me go through to the bedroom, look at this. Oh, Chuck Norris has slept in this very bed, or hopefully not this exact same bed, but in this location. I mean, of course with his own bathroom as well, which in itself is a work of art. I mean, good lord, look at the bathroom. And Margaret Thatcher has sat on this toilet. Actually, that's not really a thought I'm going through in my head anyway. A bit of privacy, please. The list of people who've stayed in this actual room is just something else. And now, well, I'm staying here. Right then, it's time to say goodbye to Stalin's apartment at the Sovietsky Hotel and head across to Leningradsky Station to take the Krasnaya Strela, the Red Arrow, up to St. Petersburg. Let's go. So today is Russia Day here in Russia, which means everybody's heading out to celebrate tonight. So the roads are pretty busy. Everyone's heading out into town to have a few drinks and celebrate Russia. Right then, welcome to Leningradsky station in Moscow, right next door to this one here, Yaroslavlsky station, which goes off towards Yaroslavl, and we're heading to St. Petersburg tonight. So we go on the Leningrad line, which goes from Leningradsky. It's a bit like St. Pancras and King's Cross in London, really, just a whole lot busier. It's crazy. There's 21 trains a day between Moscow and St. Petersburg, and about half of those leave around this time of night to get in early in the morning into St. Petersburg. It is a crazy busy route, and obviously thousands of Russians make this journey every single day, so we're going to join them today, except we're doing it in style, of course, on the train used by diplomats and leaders from around the world and the Communist Party elite, and I'm going to be one of them tonight, taking the Red Arrow. I was telling you about how many trains there are to St. Petersburg. Look at that board. Almost every single train tonight is going to St. Petersburg. Mine's a very top one, the 2355 Krasnaya Strela. And we're going from, where are we going from? I don't know, I think it's train number 2. Train number 2 on the Russian railway network. Because train number 1 is the train the other way from St. Petersburg to Moscow. We're on train number 2, which goes that way, so I should never know. I should never know. I don't know what that means. I will try and find out, figure out where we need to head to get the train up to St. Petersburg. So it seems we are a little bit early for the train, but they are boarding about an hour out by the looks of it. The trains are listed on here quite handily with the numbers of the carriages and where they are on the train and stuff, so you can find your way to your carriage. There's about 5 trains leaving before 10 o'clock to St. Petersburg. Premium means it's the sleeper service, as was high, and then they've got the express service as well. They've got these Sapsan trains that take 4 hours to do the route from Moscow to St. Petersburg, but then obviously they've got all the night trains as well that take about 8 hours to do the same journey, obviously going a lot slower, so you get a good night's sleep before you arrive into St. Petersburg. So I'm going to just hang around here for a bit and see what there is to do at Leningradsky station. Might get a bite to eat before we head down to board the train.
Moving this summer? Get Suddenlink's hottest summer sale. With blazing fast 200 meg internet.
I mean, if you're travelling like an oligarch, you might as well eat like one as well. Seem to be starting boarding here on the trains about half an hour before they actually leave, and we've got about an hour and a half until our train leaves, but I am going to sort of hang around here in the platform area just for a little bit and hopefully be boarded soon and getting on our way. It's just such a fun experience just hanging around here and watching everybody just sort of running for their trains and stuff. I love hanging around stations. That's weird, isn't it? I do like hanging around train stations and just watching people flap and leg it for their trains that they're about to miss. So it's fun. We'll be on our way soon. Now, most Russian trains have 3 classes of service on them. You get third class sleeper trains, which is the old sort of open plan dormitory style that you see on a lot of trains here. Then you've got your second class, your coupe, which is where you have like 4 beds in a room, and you can either buy just 1 bed and share with either other men or other women, or you can just buy all 4 beds for yourself, which is something that I've done before down in Ukraine. Then you have your first class, which is generally 2 beds, and again you've got the choice of buying both of them if you want a room to yourself. But the Krasnaya Strela goes a step further. They've got a deluxe class, which is above first class, and guess what we're doing today? as we're recreating the route of the old oligarchs and Tsars and party leaders. We're taking deluxe class tonight, of course, when the train eventually starts boarding. Right, ready to go. Platform number 3. Here we go, off to St. Petersburg. Alright, so this train is really long. That was carriage number 16. We're in carriage number 1. So we've got about another 15 carriages left to go until we get to our carriage at the other end of the train. Isn't it a beautiful train though? Look at this. Krasnaya Strela, the Red Arrow. One of the great Russian trains. One of the classic Russian trains, actually. A lot of history behind it. So looking forward to getting on board. I think at this rate we're walking halfway to St. Petersburg. Thank you. Here we are then, on board in deluxe class. Look at this, look. Well, here we are then. Deluxe class on the Krasnaya Strela. This is quite nice. Shut my door in a minute, we'll have a look around this room, but this looks gorgeous, doesn't it? Right, so let's have a quick look around this. This is the deluxe room on the Krasnaya Strela. I mean, good lord, look at this. We have a TV, playing Russian soap operas, no doubt. We have somebody up there, nice gorgeous mirror. And then what have we got here? A bit of storage along here, look. Notepad, look, you get a Krasnaya Strela notepad. Wicked. You get your room key. A few lighting controls and stuff. Look at that, it's like Emirates first class on a plane. And then down here, what do we have? We've got chocolate. Awesome. Any train company that gives you free chocolate, well, I'm happy with. And we've got fruit. And we've got dining stuff. Menu here. Menu poduszek. Poduszek. Is that for breakfast or is that for dinner? I can't remember. I don't know. It's not for either. I don't know what it means. Menu for something. Russian speakers will know better. Yeah, a glass of water and stuff on there. That's pretty decent. Air conditioning. Individually controlled, which is nice on these Russian trains because they like to crank the heating right up. There it is. Coming alive up there. Just stick that on. And then we've got power. Look, we've got what we got here? Otoplenie. Views of Provodnika. It's called the Provodnika. And you've got power supply here and a lamp as well. Look at that, look. Very cool. And then these gorgeous curtains here. And then we have another room. Is this the bathroom? Let me check. Oh, we have a bathroom with a shower. It's tiled. Good lord.
I'm Karina, and STEM is my superpower. What I love about STEM are just the endless possibilities. You can really build anything.
A tiled bathroom with a nice full-size shower cubicle. Oh my goodness. Just look at this. I mean, I thought the Caledonian Sleeper was good and cool in the fact that they had individual bathrooms. This has a full-size bathroom. It's not a caravan toilet like you get on the Cali Sleeper. No, this is a full-size hotel room bathroom. A bathroom with a window. So you can watch the world go by as you have your shower in the morning. Wow! And then what's here? Full wardrobe. Radio up there. More storage. I think you've got your sheets and stuff up there. Look, they're towels. So you've got towels up there. Pillows for the beds. This is proper sweet. This is. I like this. So here we go. This is what you get on the Krasnaya Strela. Little book all about the history of it as well, which is nice. It's all in Russian. Nice little touches like this though, it's incredible. The history of the Krasnaya Strela. And then wine list. Oh, we have a wine list. You order on the app and they'll deliver it to your room. I like the sound of that. We shall take full advantage of that very soon. And then we have food menu, summer menu, appetizers. This is proper cool. So we actually get full room service by the looks of it too. We have to try that in a bit. I'm pretty impressed with this. It's pretty decent, isn't it? For a night train anyway. So let's try and sit back and chillax a little bit as we wait to depart from Leningradsky station and head towards St. Petersburg. So it looks like we get breakfast on board actually. There is a menu here. Menu of the guaranteed feeding rations for passengers of luxury cars. So my feeding rations are listed in here. What shall we get for our feeding rations in the morning? Let's have a look. We have a choice of cold starter. We have choice of main course, rice porridge, a berry topping, omelette with cheese, pancakes with red caviar. You can get caviar on this train. Wow, we have to do that, surely. As a man of great power and statute in the party, we need to have caviar for breakfast, surely. What else do we get? Dessert, fruit and berries platter, chocolate, choice of 2 soft drinks, and a cup of coffee. Wow. They do vegetarian breakfast if you are that way inclined as well. They do a children's breakfast. I might have one of them as well. No, not really. Enjoy your meal. Wow, fantastic. So I don't know when they'll come and all bring that round. When they'll bring around my guaranteed feeding ration. But we will find out in the morning. I do like the fact that they give you not 1 but 6 coat hangers. Like, this is an 8-hour train from Moscow to St. Petersburg. Who needs 6 coat hangers to hang up their stuff out of their suitcase? Wouldn't you just do what I'm going to do, just grab it out of the case in the morning when you're ready to get dressed? I don't know. Crazy, 6 coat hangers, wow. Right, we're 5 minutes before we are due to depart and the engine's just fired up next door. Bearing in mind we are in the very front car of the train, so we're right next to the engine. Or the loco, I should say, getting into my train speak. The loco's just fired up and I've just felt the train clanging and banging about a bit, so clearly they just connected summit up. So in a minute we'll be on our way. Right, so we're on the move, right on time departure there. The Plovenita has just come around, the car attendant. And gone through the breakfast options. Basically you can choose your breakfast to come at any time between 6:30 and when we arrive at 8, so I've ordered it for 7:30 so I can get a bit of extra sleep and time for a shower. Also they've got a full wine list and everything and drinks you can have in the evening, so I've just ordered some drinks from there as well. They're going to bring it to my room, and he's also brought around some slippers and an amenity kit, which we'll go through in a little bit. This is pretty cool. This is service fantastic actually so far. It was very helpful. He's shown me all around the room, and yeah, we'll get on our way. Now when he came around as well, he also told me that with included in my fare, because it's a deluxe room, included in the fare you get a free transfer anywhere in St. Petersburg at the other end. So yeah, I've got a free transfer to my hotel when I get there, which is pretty nice, isn't it? Saves me having to battle around trying to find a Yandex to pick me up when they're just going to have a taxi waiting for me at the other end, so pretty decent. So just looking at my rail map app to see where we are, and in a minute we're going to be passing a place called Khimki, which is the place that when I came to Russia as an 11-year-old, that is the place I stayed. The school that we did the exchange with was in Khimki, and the family that I stayed with while I was over here lived right across the road from Khimki railway station. So in a couple of minutes we're going to go sailing through Khimki, and I'm going to see the exact place that I came to stay when I was 11 years old. This is pretty cool. The first time in 30 years. Okay, there's the river. Oh, I remember the river. And that's the apartment blocks. My friend's friend stayed in those apartment blocks. Here we go, here's downtown Khimki. There we go, there it is. Wow, that's the building. Just beyond the station. There it is.
Headed to the beach? The new Wells Fargo Active Cash Visa credit card earns you unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases like sunblock and some aloe. You're always forgetting behind your knees. That's real life ready. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/activecash.
There we go, going back through Khimki for the first time in 30 years. That is just incredible. Amazing. Perfect, thank you. Good night. Good night. The entertainment has arrived for the evening. Oh, oh, oh. Of course, you can't come on the Krasnaya Strela, the most Soviet of Soviet trains, without having some vodka and a glass of wine as well, just in case the vodka isn't enough. So yeah. Hey. Na zdrowie. Glass of wine as well, just in case the vodka isn't enough. So yeah. Hey. Na zdrowie. Oh, that's good vodka. Half a bottle down. 3 more half bottles to go. So I asked the guy about the TV and how it works, and effectively it's not really a live TV. You basically get a pack of DVDs to go through, and you can put them in the little DVD player that's up there on the wall. Let's have a look in the box, see what we have. Disc 4, Disc 5, Disc 3, Disc 5, Disc 9. No, it's just a load of DVDs basically. I'm presuming they're all in Russian, but essentially, if you speak Russian, you're probably going to be alright here. So you basically load the DVD up and it play on the TV up on the wall. It's not really live TV as such. Because I imagine that live TV on a train must be pretty difficult actually. When you're travelling as far as we are on this train, it's like 400 miles up to St. Petersburg from Moscow. So yeah, we're not bothered with any telly tonight. I'm going to finish drinking my vodka, possibly my wine, but I might save that until I get to the hotel. Dunno. And then try and get some sleep, because in the morning we arrive into St. Petersburg at 8 AM, which is pretty flipping early, considering we didn't leave till midnight. Yeah, let's get some more vodka drunk, and then I can show you the immunity kit, and we'll put the bed down. Right. Oh, immunity kit time. RZD is the Russian Railway Company. It's the name of them. So let's have a look what we get in the RZD immunity kit. We'll open it up. Let's see what we get. Come on, you. Get open. Oh, yay. Hey. There we go. Oh, the zip's a bit crap. Right, okay, there we go. Oh, that's pretty. That's pretty. That is scene of a Russian city. We get, what do we get? Siberica mouthwash. There we go, we got mouthwash. Do you think they're telling me something that I need mouthwash? We get shampoo, we get shower gel, we get... What is that? Oh, it's like a douche for in the shower. Like I'm not big enough for a douche anyway. Some sort of shoe shine kit. Shoe shine. Earplugs. Presumably so that we can block out the train going toot toot next door. We get a razor. Who bothers shaving like on a train? I don't know, if you want to shave on a train you can do on the Krasnaya Strela. You get a toothbrush in case you've forgotten yours. And you get, what's this, toothpaste. Roski toothpaste. I think, oh, what's this? Oh, one more. Aquatique shaving cream. So yeah, if you want to shave on a train, that sounds really risky, shaving on a train, going over a bump, like slicing your face open. Yeah, doesn't sound good, does it? Oh, and there's another bit as well at the top. Nearly missed this bit. What's this? Ah, we get a comb, an RZD comb. We get a little leaflet thing, and we get a refresher emblazoned with a picture of a train on the front, and it comes in this little bag that hangs as well. I love it when they do this. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I'm trying to think what airline it was on that did that. Ethiopian. So Ethiopian's amenity kits have got the same thing. They've got a little hanger on them. Very cool. Anyway, there you go. If you get a train, if you get the Krasnaya Strela and travel in deluxe class, maybe in first class as well, I don't know. But anyway, whatever, you get this, the cool RZD amenity kit.
Todd! Hey, wait! I can't just stay here and wait for you to figure out what you want.
Prekrasnaya Russia da. Prekrasnaya Russia. Right, we're going to try putting this bed together, which after 200 ml of vodka, or 2 little bottles of vodka, is going to be an interesting experience. So let's see how we do. From what he was saying, we have to move this table first and move this out of the way, and there's a little lever, I think, under here. Hang on. Where is it? Oh, we're falling out the first hurdle here. Hang on. I'm going to have to look under here. Where is this bloody lever? He made it look really easy. Does it just pull? No, it doesn't pull. Yeah. Well, we're falling at the first hurdle. Apparently we have to move this table first, and I can't find how you do it. Oh dear. This isn't good, is it? Oh, there we go. Oh, it just moves. There we go. Oh, look at that. Hey, we did a thing. Right, now we have to pull this down. You've got a little lever, little sort of grab angle here. Oh, look at that, look. It folds. Oh, that's tight. Gonna do it? Is it gonna do it? Oh yes. Look at that. And that's it. Wow, look at the size of that bed. That's bloody huge. Right, and then I don't know. Clearly that's the mattress. No, that's not the mattress, that's the duvet. Right, we've got a little thing here. We've got to just unhook that maybe. Oh, there we go. Bye-bye. And then we've got a duvet. Ooh, and pillars. 1, 2. There we go. Look at that, look. Perfectly made bed. Would you look at that? Hey, I did a thing. I made a bed. Rage, I made a bed. Look. Hey. Proud on me. Right, okay. I don't think I need those pillars up there because there's some down there. So I'm going to get undressed, and I'm not going to record this bit because I don't want to put you all off your dinner. But let me climb into bed. Right, so bedtime, and the bed is well, actually, it's not bad actually. If you lay straight, I can sort of fit in the bed quite easily, which is quite nice. It's about as good as a lot of airline flat beds, but it's a lot wider. It's like more than a single bed. It's sort of I don't know, a big single bed basically. Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty comfortable. So I'm going to try and get some sleep. I mean, I need to set my alarm for in the morning because we arrive into St. Petersburg at just before 8 o'clock, and it's a non-stop train. So hopefully I'll get a decent night's sleep, and I will speak to you in the morning. Good night. Well, good morning from on board the Krasnaya Estrella, and it's now just coming up to 6:30 in the morning, so we've got around about an hour and a half until we arrive into St. Petersburg, and it's really bright and sunny out. St. Petersburg has these white nights at the minute at this time of year, which means it basically never gets fully dark because it's so far north. So of course 6 o'clock in the morning, it's like the middle of the day, so that's kind of what's woken me up. But never mind, because it means we get to enjoy some of this scenery before we arrive into St. Petersburg on this beautiful sunny morning. So yeah, I slept alright. I got about 6 hours sleep or so, I'd say, which wasn't too bad. The bed is really comfy. Just takes some getting used to the rocking and rolling of the train, as usual when you travel on a sleeper train. But yeah, I didn't sleep too bad at all, really. Probably helped in part by the vodka last night, but never mind. I'm going to get up in a minute. I'm going to go and have a shower, get sorted, and yeah, we'll soon be arriving into St. Petersburg. Say this is the first train I've ever been on where they give you a dressing gown. How cool.
approach Delta 122 is at 16,100 feet, descending 4,000 feet. Tower on 123.675 Delta 122. Minneapolis Tower Delta 12212 miles west inbound ILS runway 12 right approach. Cleared ILS runway 12 right approach Delta 122. Runway 12 right Delta 12.
2,500. One thousand. $500. $400. $300. $300. $200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
One 121.9 for Delta 122.